All right, so really quickly, with a little bit of story time, let's dive into this discussion of masculinity and femininity. And for the sake of the discussion, let's just assume masculinity is going to be action-oriented, is going to be task-oriented, is going to be getting things done, leadership in action, right? And then femininity is going to be softness, is going to be peaceful, is going to be calm, and is going to be in the action of receiving and sitting in that, right? So, seeing a woman, right? And her bed was jacked up. Baby girl was sleeping like this, sideways, at an angle, 4 months. At one point, she was even saying her blood was looking like it was pooling on one half of her body more than the other from hours of being sideways, right? Can't have that. So once I get to town, get in the room, drop the bags. First thing I'm like, all right, bed, let's look at this bed. Like, let's get this situated. I can't have you sleeping sideways like this, right? And so I'm like, you got a measuring tape for what? What you mean for what? We got to measure the bed. No. What do you mean? No. I already know how much it weighs. I mean, I know how long it is. All right, cool. But what about the frame? Like, we got to measure the frame. No, we don't, because the frame is the same size as the bed. Clearly is not if they don't fit together. The bed is sideways on top of the frame. So if we're going to go get a piece of wood to fix this, we should probably know the dimensions of everything involved so we can get the right size piece of wood. Now it's an argument. Why do we need to measure it? Why do we need a measuring tape? Why do you want to take it out the frame? Just leave it alone. Leave the bed where it is. Ma'am, you asked me to handle this, right? Which means you want me to step into my masculine, and you want me to lead, you want me to be action oriented, and you want me to find a solution for the problem. In order to find the solution for the problem, I need to do these steps, and I'm trying to explain to you why. And while I'm explaining it to you, you're also stepping into your masculine and trying to dictate and lead the situation in the way that you want it to go. But if you look at what you want it to be, it didn't work already. It already didn't work. The bed is not in the frame. But at this point in time, me being a leader and in my masculine, I understand that if we keep going, we're going to elevate this to conflict, and it's going to have nothing to do with the bed anymore. So I recede, which means to some people, I stepped into my feminine energy and made sure that the balance was still there instead of trying to be right and argue. She wanted to be right, and it was turning into an argument. So I let her be right. We get to the store, and the attendant says, what are the measurements and the dimensions? I don't know. You don't know? Yeah, we didn't measure them. Well, why didn't you measure them? You're right, sir. We'll come back tomorrow. And so in that moment, she was like, damn, I guess we do need the measurements. She leaves, goes to school. I'm at the crib, right? I end up doing everything I wanted to do the day before, including measuring everything. And it turns out that everything was exactly the right size, so much so that it fit perfectly together, and it needed a little bit of strength to be able to pull open the frame and let the mattress slip in it. So I say this to say, in order for things to work properly, you need a good balance of masculine and feminine, because with her being in her masculine, she was able to acquire all of the pieces for the job, and the pieces just didn't fit together quite right until she stepped out of being the leader and let the masculine actually come in and align everything. You feel me? I aligned it and just filled in the space with the tools that she had provided, with the things she had already gathered. All she had to do was enjoy the benefit of having someone prepare it for her at that point. But instead, it became a whole 2-3 day runaround because she was trying to lead the leader. It's not like I'm saying, do whatever I say, let me lead. But in this situation, you're literally asking for a man to do it and get it done while directly arguing with him about how it gets done. This is why I wholeheartedly believe a man who's fully functioning healthily in his masculine isn't going to be able to even entertain a relationship with a woman who is still operating highly in her masculine unless they both learn how to balance and recede. There's nothing wrong with you leading on one aspect, but you also have to be able to have the room to step the fuck back. And this is where the challenge comes in with a lot of women being in their masculine. Not gonna say it's not a challenge for men as well, being able to step into their feminine, but any man who's in his masculine is not going to want to argue with a woman in a masculine way. I'm just gonna recede. And if that's the case, we're gonna waste a whole lot of extra time and possibly be wrong. Like I was saying, you could acquire all the pieces. It's a bed frame, right? Oh, the bed frame wasn't fitting together, right? but also she wasn't in her correct frame, right? I was trying to be in mine, and because she wasn't in her correct one, the only way to have a peaceful resolution was for me to step out of my proper masculine frame and step into a feminine frame, right? And then the picture still didn't work. So you can have all the pieces to make a beautiful picture, but if the balance of masculine and femininity is out of whack, it's not gonna fit in that picture frame. You're never gonna hang it on the wall, right? If I didn't have the right amount of masculine strength to be able to pull open the bed frame, the bed would have never went into the frame and set properly. She had the bed, she had the frame. She knew the dimensions, but didn't know how to put them all together right. I had to come in and assert the actual strength to format it.